What is going on, Royal Rundown family? This is episode 22 of the best show in all of pro wrestling and sports entertainment. It is Tuesday evening. I am one half your host and duo, SERG VICENTE. Joining me as always is honestly somebody that used to work with the black and gold, and maybe it's time to go back. Who knows? Miss Dre Day. Dre, what is going on?
What's cracking, Surge? It is Tuesday, 2 Tuesdays in a row. We over here. Look at us being on our business. Being on business.
Hey, because your boy is like I'm locked in. Okay, locked in. Make sure. With that being said, make sure you follow the Fire Podcast everywhere. Podcasting is available: Apple, Google Play, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Make sure you check us out at thefightpodcast.com. You can check out all of our episodes there, but you can also check us out everywhere on social media at the Fight Podcast. Also, thank you so much for watching live. If you're watching live right now on the Fight Podcast YouTube, as well as the Scrap News' YouTube, if you want the very best in combat sports journalism, make sure to check out the Scrap News. They are absolutely fantastic. Check them out today. All right, with that being said, and last but certainly not least, if you see the sweatshirt that I got on, Champion brand crew neck and hoodie, and you see that mug that Miss Dre Day has, you can get all those fantastic things from etsy.com/shop/thefightpodshop. All your Fight Pod desires, you can get them right there. Check them out today. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Everybody, welcome to the show. This is we've had a big one. Dre, it's been a lot going on. Today, for those who are watching, we are going to go ahead and recap this past weekend SummerSlam, one of the big pillar shows for the WWE. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that. Also, Triple H is the head of creative. Now that Triple H is head of creative, how has everything been going with the WWE? He did SmackDown, he did SummerSlam, and now he did the people were calling it Monday night. I call it NXT Raw. Okay, NXT Raw was fantastic this week. I don't know what you thought about it, but you know what? Let's get into it, because I do want to talk about SummerSlam but more than anything else, let's talk about Triple H, the game. How are you feeling about the changing of the guard? Because I think that's one of the big things. This is a changing of the guard moments. We are officially in a new era. It has been 60 years since we haven't had essentially a McMahon at the helm. I mean, I'm not even trying to exaggerate. I'm trying to be be somewhat like on the money.
That's truth.
I got notes.
Low-key truth. Yeah. You got notes. Where the notebook at, Serge? Where it at? It's over there. It's over there. It's in here. It's in here. It's right in here. Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed TakeOver SummerSlam this year. It was amazing. Yes. Obviously, we talked about this a little bit last week. How everybody's a little geeked and a little excited, and I think the inside of us really was hoping to get some sweeping change, but knowing that that's not really going to happen that fast. I feel like SmackDown was really one of those okay, cool. It was really nice shows to kind of get us prepped for SummerSlam. Yes. And for once, I felt like these felt like go home shows. Last week's Raw, last week's SmackDown felt like go home shows for the pay-per-view. Premium live event. The go home shows for the premium live event. I really feel like it cleaned up a lot of the storyline, so we knew exactly what we were going into SummerSlam with.
Absolutely.
I have to give it all the props. I mean, our group.
So are we jumping in? Are we jumping into SummerSlam?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's wait.
Why make them wait?
Let's set it up. Why make them wait? Let's set it up. So check it out. This weekend, SummerSlam,
Big Four pay-per-view. Second to WrestleMania.
Let me say this. I think even people behind the scenes had said that this is something that they weren't even the lineup they weren't excited about. And seeing what they had and what they got out of it, I was pleased. But Nashville, Tennessee, at least half the stadium was full. And you know what? They put on a good show. Let's talk about. Let's do this. Do you want to go all the way through, or do you want to go ahead and talk about your favorite match, your favorite moments, or should we
Let's
just
go.
kick it off because it kind of told a story?
I feel like I want to do this. I want to just give like an overall feeling
Please. Yes.
first, and then I do think we should go ahead and go through the card. But
wait, look at who is here.
Katie Boo, Katie. What it do, baby? Joe, what it do, baby? What's going on?
SummerSlam.
Oh man, it was. Rashawn was good. Look, Takeover SummerSlam was amazing. Okay,
Takeover SummerSlam was it.
It
okay,
was lit. I have to say this. Obviously, we were literally. Everybody as fans is super excited to see what Triple H at the head of creative, what that looked like on a main roster situation. And baby, he said, if y'all were curious, miss you too, Katie. If he was like, if y'all are curious on who's in charge, let's kick it off with the ladies and let's kick it off with a big old huge ass storyline. Let's just do it. And let's just do it. Sirs, let's go ahead and top of the card. Let's go run it.
Let's do
top to bottom, G.
Right, so we go in here. We have Bianca Belair against, Becky Gaga. Okay, so you have Becky Gaga and Bianca Belair. And you already know, I have been very open and honest about I am not the biggest fan of this character. And kind of what she, and I don't understand why she was getting it. But with Triple H at the helm, I was here to listen. Okay, I was here to watch. and you and I actually were in the group chat, in the infamous group chat.
In the infamous
group chat during, the match. And I was saying that, honestly, you were telling me how much you enjoyed the match. You're saying, wow, they're really telling a story. And me, just because of this type of stuff that I really like too, I was like, this feels sloppy. Well, come to find out, she separated her shoulder right at the beginning, so it makes sense why it was so sloppy. So since then, I have gone back and watched that match with the knowledge of that. They told a story, and it was very good. So I'll let you go ahead and take it from here.
So what SERG was looking at as, Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship. Let's just make sure, first of all, Women's Championship. The Raw Women's Championship kicking off the SummerSlam. Let's just talk about that being the first thing on the card. Talk about the trust that they have in those women to kick this whole entire show off.
Give me what I want, Hunter.
Love that already. That's already like, okay. 2, that women's match getting all of the time. Plenty of time to cook.
Like 30, 20, 25, 30 minutes.
Plenty of time to cook. Plenty of time to showcase everybody. Like it was, that was amazing. Third of all, when Serge text the infamous group chat and said this looks a little sloppy, for me, sometimes I kind of like it when it looks like that because it makes me suspend my disbelief a bit, and like it makes it look a little real. It makes it look more hard hitting. I like it when it's not as pretty and as glossy. I like it when it's not as perfectly,
really
choreographed.
Quick. Let me say this thing because because in terms of sloppy, like I prefer hard hitting. I think that's why I've really enjoyed AEW, and I think at this point in time I even lean AEW because and since Trips has been back.
Is that the first time you said that?
It is the first time I've said it out loud. Don't tell nobody.
That is a royal rundown first, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my goodness.
Serge has admitted that he
that he not only do I watch AEW, I lean AEW because the last 6 months watching WWE has been hell. Has been like it's to the point that I was just like, why am I doing this to myself? I got so upset. Listen, people, let me tell y'all.
2 episodes ago, he was going.
I called. I didn't even text her. I didn't even text the chat. I called. And I was like venting about how do you continue doing this? How do you go out here year after year, month after month, and watch this garbage? We're from Chicago. We stopped going.
Come back, Serge. Come back. Y'all, I think what he's trying to say is that he was struggling. Hey, we back. I'm here.
Okay,
We
hold
get
on. Let me fix this. There it is. There it
hey,
is. There it
that's
is.
us
All right. I'm sorry. And I was cooking too. I was cooking.
cooking.
I was cooking. Man, I don't even know what happened. But look, I this is the thing.
Just explain to me sloppy to you. What does sloppy look like
Okay,
to
so sloppy
you
was
versus
certain things could
hard
be hard
hitting?
hitting, right?
Right,
So, for instance, Eddie is hard hitting, right?
right.
But he can also be he's sloppy though. He's not technical in his movements. He's not
Okay.
as technical at times. So when I'm watching them, there's so much space at times. It doesn't look real.
Mm,
I can't get into the like you're talking about get into the disbelief. I can't doesn't happen when I'm watching an arm bar that's definitely not even close to being an arm bar, and you got
right.
Bianca jumping back and forth like something's actually going on. The person who's holding her in the position of the arm bar should be in a good enough position to make me think that they know what they're doing. I'm watching you and I know that you don't know what you're doing. But
Yeah,
if
and
at
to
the end
be
of the
fair,
day,
you
if
have
yeah,
that knowledge too. Like I don't know what a real armbar look like. It looked like it hurts. Like you know what I mean? Like you being a fighter, you know what I mean? Like you actually knowing how to place that hold on somebody and for it to actually like for real with the intention of dislocating a shoulder versus me
yes,
just watching it going, "Ooh, that looks pretty." You know, you have that, you know what I'm saying? You have that there are different we're having two different like levels of perspective when we're watching it.
mm,
So when I'm thinking sloppy, like I think a little
mm,
bit like I think that's not necessarily as fluid. So use your Eddie Kingston example for
mm.
example. Like I can see, and I love me some Eddie, by the way. Like
I
please,
love Eddie.
I adore
I
me some Mad
love
King Eddie
Eddie. Eddie
Kingston.
is the Mad King is one of my
AAW.
all-time favorites.
It's my guy. But I do like see what you mean by on both hands in the same match, he'll do something that makes it look extremely real. If you suspend your disbelief all the time in his matches, you also can see that he's laying that shit in real thick. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? So it
yes,
real stiff. And then
love
you
it.
can also sometimes see the thinking in between moves. And so now that I think about it, because I've watched SummerSlam twice too now.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I had to have I kind of see what you're saying in terms of
Mhm.
sometimes seeing the thinking in between moves. Um,
Absolutely.
and I
And for
feel that.
somebody who's supposed to be such a veteran like Becky is, like everybody always talks about, like I've always said, out of the horsewomen, she's the fifth horse. Like it's never like I've never thought she was that great. I think at the end of the day, like her best match was her last match. Not it was the WrestleMania match with
With
Bianca.
Bianca.
That
She's
was
got great
phenomenal.
chemistry with Bianca, like
She
low
has great
key.
chemistry, but
Yeah.
that was my beef. But I have no idea what's happening. We got so
We can
much
hear you though.
nonsense. I know.
We can
Like I
hear
said,
you
my
though.
voice is there. I definitely have like I said, a face for radio. Uh, so
Not a face for podcasting. No, no.
I'll fix that. Give me a
Look,
second, guys. I'll get myself back up. But
while he's getting his life together, that first match with Bianca and Becky was absolute, like to me it was the match of the night, you know, in terms not even with the angle but the actual match of the night. I just
mhm.
really enjoyed it. I'm always going to steer towards the hard-hitting ass fly ass women's match, like I just am.
No, no
And
doubt.
Becky and Bianca really did put on I think it set the tone for the whole night. I think they put on one of those matches that everybody in the back was like, well, we better snap because we have to follow that. And then the angle afterwards, son, the angle
I'm not mad at that.
afterwards, Triple H might as well have walked out and just said, what's good? For those who might not have seen SummerSlam this weekend, after the Bianca and Becky match, two things happened. Becky
Well,
Lynch face.
hello.
Carrie, what it do, baby? Two things happened. Number one, Becky turned face.
Absolutely. So, do you
Very
want to? Yeah.
important.
Mhm.
Very important. Becky turned face. She lost, but Bianca Belair retains her Raw Women's Champion. She is still our champ all day.
And they told a great story in the way that they did that. They kicked
Yes.
off the way that their beef essentially started off was a handshake.
Mm-hmm.
And she turned on her with the handshake, and then for it to come full circle and for her to essentially end up turning face in
1
that
year later,
moment,
too.
exactly 1 year later,
Love that.
love it. And it ends up being super dope. And again, and I'm going to say this, and I feel like this is going to be a theme of the show. I might even change the name of the episode to this. Things felt like they mattered.
You literally last week, that's all we talked about last week, was how
we wanted.
It's tough to watch WWE because it seems like storylines and things don't matter. I kid you not, one of the best things I think about Becky turning face and showing respect to Bianca after the match, after she lost, is number one, the crowd didn't want to boo Becky in the first place. They didn't want to boo Becky last summer.
The crowd looked exhausted from booing her. Like, man, I ain't even trying. First, we're going to talk about Raw, and they're awful crowd.
Oh God, Houston. It was in Houston yesterday. It's supposed to be better than that. But anyway,
you guys aren't in the greatest wrestling city in the world, are you? Chicago.
Nah. Illinois. But Nashville was lit. So that I think that's really dope because I think that it's the thing about closing stories as well. The WWE is not great at closing a loop.
Vince is not good at it. We'll say it. Say it with your chest. Vince ain't good with closing out stories.
He who I will not who I will not name.
I will say his name. Damn it. Voldemort is gone.
Not very good at closing loops. And so I feel like we got to close that loop and then we began a whole other one. Bailey coming back.
Let's talk about it.
That was beautiful. And Bailey came back with friends, and Dakota Kai is back on the WWE roster from NXT. Io Shirai is now Io Sky, a name change that actually makes sense for once. Love
all
that.
Caps.
Love that for her. Two of NXT's, like, I would say the tail end of Black and Gold, right? Two of the stars that you could tell.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was plenty of room for them on the women's roster before this. It's a great time for them to come out now. And then I put them with Bailey in her comeback from injury is great. That is a great faction. Women's factions, fantastic. We don't get much. There's a few in NXT much. Right now.
Yeah,
we don't get much of on the
in the main
roster.
Serious. This one feels serious. This one feels as if that they seem like they can be a legitimate problem, right? You look at them and again, we'll talk about it again. Things feel like they matter when we're watching.
And we got follow-up. They raised hell yesterday at Raw. That was exactly what they're supposed to do.
We can't even talk about Raw yet. We got to get through this little tease.
I'm just tired of it.
But they have been. They raised hell over there. And again, wow, look at all of a sudden, you can make the women's division interesting. Whew. Who would have thunk it?
Look how fast.
Overnight.
And how simple. It was simple. That's a simple thing. Bailey was cooking to come back from injury. Bailey already a star. Let's just be clear. And then you put two other up and coming stars that fans already like, and you know that they already like them. You put them with the girl that they already like too. And even though they're heels, it's still lit and it's still exciting. That's the first match on the card. We need to go on. But yes,
absolutely.
That was great. That was a great way for Triple H to be like, hi, if you were curious on who's in charge tonight.
Absolutely.
Keep watching.
And you can see like right there. And he even live tweeted during SummerSlam at that moment, said, and we're just getting started. And like he knew it. He knew it. His team, whoever's PR person was to put out, they knew it. I loved it. It was probably Stephanie. Now I think about it.
His assistant. So he got some assistant.
There, holding it down. It was whoever did it. Chef's kiss. Like that was awesome. But that was great. The turn when Becky comes back in, and defends, Bianca from, essentially getting jumped was awesome. Like that was so great. And then moving right along, what was the next match on there?
I believe we probably gonna be out of order, but I'm gonna go with Logan Paul.
I believe you're
Miz, right. And Tommaso Ciampa. Maurice.
Let's talk about all of it. First of all, I know in an infamous group chat, you went out there saying you didn't like Ciampa's new colors. I'm not mad at it. Look, I'd be cool if he goes back to the, the brown and stuff, but he needs a little pizzazz. Okay, like I'm okay with Ciampa having that.
It's highlighter green though.
Highlighter green. You know what? Honestly, it can be fashionable if he pulls it off. Okay, so I am not mad at it at all. So let him go out there and do his thing in his highlighter green and pink. But I have to say this, and I think we talked about it before, but. Logan Paul found his calling. This dude here.
This is home.
Man, he it fits him like a glove. He
Yeah.
out here diving off of stuff, and he had a perfect dance partner. The Miz is the guy that you want to do this, who can really help coach him along with it. It was beautiful. Speaking of Ciampa, the little hits of Ciampa on the side, when they told Ciampa to leave, and then he went and got a chair and put the chair down and like kind of sat down. It's the first time you're actually really on the main roster showing personality out of Ciampa, and that was kind of dope. Obviously the little shenanigans at the end. All in all, solid match, entertaining match. I was sports entertained.
And it didn't last too long.
It didn't. It was like
gotta
6 minutes.
I
I
gotta
love
keep.
that.
It did not over when you got a big pay-per-view like this, or just premium live event. When you have premium live events like this, nothing needs to overstay their welcome. Unless it's a title match, I don't need more than 10, 20 minutes or whatever it is. Like, it's so dope. You know what I mean? And so like, I really appreciate that it didn't overstay its welcome. I agree with you. Miz is the perfect dance partner for Logan Paul, especially in his first 2 matches on Wrestling Ever. You know what I'm saying? I think that's very lit. And I mean,
for
Logan
2
Paul,
wrestling matches, he looks incredible.
He looks great. And like,
that
I'm not a Logan Paul fan at all by any means, but let's just be clear. You can tell when people have found their place and their home, and this is his place and this is his home. My only beef, and it's not even a real one, it's not a real beef, is don't nobody want to cheer for that man. Make that man a heel.
That's my only issue. Look, he
issue.
Is like him, like people who come in like from other places, like, I don't want to be a bad guy. Be a bad guy. It's more fun to be a bad guy. You look, everybody gets on once they turn into a bad guy. Yeah. The Rock, Roman. Look down the list. The only person that it didn't work for was Becky Lynch, and now it seems like she's the man again. So, like
actually, I'm gonna be an actually person. Actually, the man was born out of her heel turn, and it actually.
Well, there we go.
But the problem was the face she turned on was Charlotte, and nobody wanted to cheer for Charlotte, so that's why she got cheered. And so there was an adjustment that needed to be made. But the point is still the point, right? Like, when you turn heel, it's damn near always good for your character. For sure. Logan Paul, like, he is still very much a joke, to a lot of us who know who he is and like where he
Triple
comes
H
from.
even admitted on Jake Paul's show that he didn't know who the hell he was when people first proposed the idea to him. He was like,
that part. But what I will appreciate though is that this is the perfect, like, pro wrestling is the perfect place for obscure semi celebrities like that. The Miz is a perfect example of that. The Miz did it 20 years ago or whatever, however long ago now. Jesus,
he is literally like the last generations. He's literally Logan Paul. He's the exact same guy. That's really who he is.
It's exactly who he is. So whoever pitched to put them two together, give them a raise, because that was the smartest thing that you could have possibly done.
Makes perfect sense.
And then the whole Tommaso Ciampa AJ Styles situation, and having AJ Styles inserted into that match,
beautiful,
just for them to, again, we're going to keep teasing Raw from last night, just for them to actually, have a match together.
Absolutely.
Last night. I mean, why? Like, that's called, again, making things matter, and it's not insulting us as fans' intelligence. I know WWE is a brand.
Show was moving,
and it just kept going.
It moved, and I was, again, thoroughly sports entertained, and it kept rocking. Speaking of sports entertainment, next up, we got the best music in the business, Bobby Lashley, who is over like Rover. Come on now, you know what I'm saying? So Bobby goes out here and goes against Theory. And
I can't do it.
And
squash that boy like a bug.
And he squash matched him. Straight squash match. Theory had like a moment, but he was just straight pancake squashed. I was again, thoroughly sports entertained.
Just laughed. All I did was,
and it was like a 5-minute match. It was quick, fast, bang, bang. They were out. It moved the story, and I was happy. It did what it needed to do. I was happy. You had the idea in the back of your head, this was a quick match. He might come back. So they laid that little seed. So you're looking at it like, oh shit, okay, well, he might come back and try to, shenanigans at the end. We all know how this goes.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
So anything else you got to say about that match?
No, nothing else except for best entrance music in the business.
Best entrance music. It just come on now. And now he has the whole superhero entrance where they give him the stand and the lights.
He's treated like a star now. This man has been waiting for this is
20
his
years,
second or third
ish.
Two in a 2C run in WWE, and he had an Impact run or TNA, whichever one at the time it was called when he was there. Look, this man deserves to be treated like the star he's being treated like right now. And I love that.
Absolutely.
I love that. Love that. And the entrance was banging. It was really cool. Like it was
it was great. It was great. It was awesome. It was impactful. I loved every second of it. Okay, speaking of impactful and things that I love and two teams that I love, the Usos versus Street Profits for all of the tag team belts. With
all the cousins.
With the Jeff Jarrett, the principal, the white principal who was supposed to be holding down the the brown kids. Like what is this? Is this what this was?
The legendary Jeff Jarrett as the referee.
Double J, double whatever the hell. Like he just get done beating the shit out of Ric Flair.
Yes, last night for Ric Flair's last match or whatever.
No, I wasn't gonna go ahead and invest my time in watching that old man. Nah.
I just watched the clips and Jeff
I thought his last match is when Shawn Michaels sweet chin music his face into the 6th row. That's when I thought it was over. Remember that moment? I love you. And
I'm sorry.
Kicked him in his joint. And come on, man. Sorry. Then 30. That was like an 02.
Listen, unfortunately, that wasn't his last match because he went to TNA after that. It was tragic. But here's the thing. Right. Can we not look, Rick did what he had to do. I hope he got what he needed to get out of all of that. And I'm just glad that man didn't die in nobody's ring with his son-in-law right there. Amen. So yeah, I mean, first of all, dope tag match. The only thing that hurt this match to me,
tag match.
They're only great. Thing that hurt this is that they've wrestled each other 82 million times.
That's the only problem.
But on top of that, it speaks to how talented they are because this match was I was still very entertained by watching this.
We were just talking about a month ago at Money in the Bank. We were saying how that was, and I stand on it. Yeah. That is still the best tag team match of the year. That was phenomenal. I went back and I watched that, and then I went back and watched the 3-way as well.
I'm about to start some stuff.
What?
Is that better than FTR versus the Briscoes in Ring of Honor?
Yes.
Both of them? 1 and 2?
Wait. What are you asking? Wait. Say it again.
So I'm just saying.
I think that to right. Oh. Ask me next episode. Now I gotta go back and watch it. Now you're getting me. Oh.
I said I was gonna start some stuff. See, now you got homework.
Yeah, because. Nah, I'm sorry. I think I still gotta go because 1
and 2. There's 2 of them.
All right. I'll check them out. I might have to check it out. We'll put a pencil in that one. I'll be back. We'll table that one for the next time.
It was dope. I mean, the Street Profits are. I don't want to call them an underrated tag team, but I feel like I have to say that just because Montez Ford does take up so much air in the room, right? And he's so athletic and he's so good. Katie, why would you say that? Oh Lord, we all was nervous, child.
Hey man, wait, come out though. Why did he come out there in that abuela, like the abuela pajamas? He came out there in the abuela pajamas.
I mean, his son-in-law Mexican now. You know what I'm saying? Andrade's his son-in-law. He's trying to get it all. He
definitely looked like somebody swagged out in there.
Andrade is fine. Come on, Katie, talk about it. Are you talking about Tez? Both of them, they both fine. But anyway, look. Yeah, I think that I hate to
I'm
feel like that, like naturally saying the Street Profits are an underrated tag team because Montez gets so much he gets so much praise. Katie girl, them two fine people together, like, look. You ain't lying, girl. Respectfully, B. Don't
respectfully,
respectfully. I do not need
respectfully.
Bianca to whoop my ass at all.
I don't need Tez whoop my ass. Like I don't need none
Listen,
of that shit.
okay. Asses just be whooped and we didn't even do nothing. Um the Usos though are just one of the greatest tag teams of all time. It's just
They're
period.
amazing.
It's just what it
Is
is.
it possible that they actually have gotten better? Because over this last stretch, I think they're doing some of the their best wrestling. They're going out there because they go out there right now and there's an energy and like when they go to like finish you, it all of a sudden feels like, oh, the bad guys just turned it on.
And then
And they're
adding
doing
things
such
to
a
their
great job.
repertoire, like adding the 1D as their
1D, come
finisher
on.
is just like
It's a great finisher.
it works for them. And I love that we're watching this legendary run with the bloodline and everything. Kate, I was trying to ignore it. See? Well, welcome to the Royal Rundown
That's
After
real
Dark.
too.
We're doing the most.
Yo, I do be giggling my ass when I see Charlotte put them things. I'll be like, I see you, Andrade. El Idolo.
Look, them two in love, okay? I just love it. I think it's really fly. And I think that I think the Usos going over was the right decision.
Absolutely.
And I also just love
I
that
think
we are.
they should win all the time. But that's just
I also just love that we are all very unsure what's happening with the Street Profits. We're all also, as fans, I'm just being honest here, because of course everybody's like, oh, push Tez, and I'm with that too. But have the Street Profits break up. Hey, okay, that could be interesting. Keep them the same, keep them together like we do the New Day, and have them have singles run. Also down with that as well. It's one of the, if we're honest as fans, we really don't know what we want the Street Profits to do after this. We just know that whatever.
I know exactly what I want.
I'm talking here, sir. I'm just playing. I'm just saying that we all not Sergio. About to punch you. What I'm saying is that we are all, no matter what choose your adventure we do with the Street Profits, it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be fantastic.
And
it
that's
really
what I
is.
love. That's what I love about it.
And they have, but speaking of a team that has gotten better consistently, when we're looking at them, dude, Montez, we know how great he is. And even finding out recently that he was somebody that Paul Heyman wanted. Paul Heyman wanted Montez Ford to be one of his guys, but he who will not be named said no. And so that didn't happen. But now we're still seeing the star that even Paul Heyman thought he was going to. But at the same time, who has had a better 2 months, 3 month stretch than Doc? Dawkins is going out there putting on amazing performances back and forth and is coming into his own as a character. You can tell he's understanding who that character is, and it's really dope to see now both of them almost fully actualized as like their own, like they're like in superhero form, right? They finally made it. That's where they are. They're both like fully actualized. Look at me, I'm a Marvel superhero now. They're ready.
1000%. And when Doc took down his straps and let y'all know, I've been in the gym too.
Okay. Yo, when Doc went out there and pulled out the Wardlow and
let us
took out
know
the
you've been in
chesticles, I was
the
like,
gym
look at this
too.
man. Look at him with his 2 abs.
He don't miss his bench press days. Okay, I'm not. Well, it's all right. He don't skip leg day. Okay, sir.
No, man, but look, I love it. I think they're fantastic. I think what both of them have been doing is great. And what do I want? Yes, I definitely want a. I don't think you need to split them up in order for Tez to have a run. That's my thing. But if they do split them up, as long as you bring them back in some way, shape, or form eventually. And honestly, I'll be honest with you guys. In Triple H, I trust at this point in time.
Who said that? I think Joe wrote that in Triple H. Yo,
salute. For sure. Like salute. Like that's where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's the route he wants to go at this point in time, he has not given me any reason not to think so. So really quick, moving right along. The match that obviously I didn't love, but it is what it is. You had
Ronda Rousey versus Liv Morgan for the SmackDown Women's Championship
versus Alexa Morgan. Yeah.
Oh God.
You had Alexa Morgan against Ronda Rousey. So look,
Stop
I'm
this,
sorry.
Serge.
I am
Stop this.
saying so this was not my favorite match of the evening. It was
It
not,
is
but his match of the night, but it did what it needed to do. Ronda was able to turn heel, and I think for Ronda Rousey, I think that is the exact thing that she needs to be. I think actually we might actually start liking her if this is who she is. In her heart of heart, she wants to. I remember seeing those Ultimate Fighters back in the day. I remember when you didn't shake Misha Tate's hand after you whooped ass. I know this is who you are. Give us who you just be who you are. Remember all some Mufasa shit. Remember who
Katie,
you
yes,
are.
he did. He be calling that girl Alexa Morgan and Liv Bliss, and they're petty. He is petty. Both of them. Y'all, the girl's
Let her
name
be the
is
heel.
Liv. The girl's name is Liv Morgan, the SmackDown Women's Champion.
Liv Bliss.
Currently.
Yes.
Alexa Bliss is a whole nother person. Okay,
Yes,
goodness.
Liv Bliss. You're right.
I 1000% agree with you with this match. I think again another match that did not last too long, did not overstay its welcome, but still gave us something interesting. This was the match I was the least interested in for the whole you know what I mean? The whole the whole premium live event. But I appreciate that even the match that was
1,000%.
I want her breaking arms
Ronda
instead
going
of
out there.
pinning so many people at that part.
I want her ripping arms out the sockets, kicking people in the face, and just being a menace. If she does that, sold.
Yes. It's almost like the Becky turn that we just had, but less with the mental part, and more just with the action. Just go stupid, go
just
crazy.
Be a badass.
And I love it though. I really like that, especially if you're gonna keep building her as the baddest woman in the planet. Yeah, have her attack the ref.
Do anything you want to do.
That makes sense.
Don't have her shadow box.
Y'all be talking about that girl's hands. I don't know. I don't fight.
Dude, she needs not to do it. I'm sorry. Anything else? I want to see her judo throwing people out of the ring, ripping arms out, biting ears, all that shit. Just don't shadow box.
Right.
All right. I'm sorry.
Moving on.
Respectfully.
Please, because Lord Jesus, that's the last person I want after us, child.
Respectfully. These are jokes. The last thing I need is her husband after my ass. Have you seen that big 8-foot tall Hawaiian?
That mountain of
no trouble.
No smoke.
These are jokes, brother. These are jokes.
Look. Agreed. I think our next match was Happy Corbin versus your boy, Pat McAfee.
I want this. Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey need to be bad guys together. That is the state. Just two of them whooping ass. They come on, they're buddies already. Let's go. They come on. This is what should have been from the beginning.
Yes, please, because Shayna's just chilling at the crib, she ain't one of the dopest wrestlers. She won one of the most dominant women's NXT champions that they had.
Come on, and she was great, and she is legitimately a better wrestler than Ronda.
She's a better wrestler, sports entertainer, all of that. She does it.
But that's what I'm saying. Have her with Ronda, I think would really benefit Ronda because again, she is a better sports entertainer. Ronda isn't the best on the mic. Shayna's pretty good. Shayna can do things. They can really lean into certain things, and I think Ronda could even get better. And sure, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna hold that. We're gonna hold that one because we will talk about that very soon. Okay. Next match. Pat McAfee. Actually, let's just fly through these next because I want to talk about NXT Raw. So Pat McAfee almost kills himself, but I appreciate him so much.
Oh God, that baby's neck had me stressed.
I love Pat McAfee. The bitch ass Corbin choir at the beginning, fantastic. It hit all the notes that you want, right? I loved it.
Absolutely.
Chef's kiss. Pat McAfee continues on. Yeah, come on.
One time for Baron. I'm calling the man with his former name.
Oh, I love Baron too. What a pro. What a pro.
That's another one that for me, when he was in NXT, he wasn't my favorite. I mean, he was there and it was cool and I got it. He was big and lone wolf, whatever. But I just
where's the lie?
Where's the lie? It's been a whole takeover weekend. Okay. Um, I really do just want to I really appreciate the work Baron's been doing with the happy Corbin, sad Corbin, all the
It's
Corbins.
amazing. He's doing
They've
some
been
amazing
he's
sports
doing
entertaining.
some great work, yo. And
Absolutely.
again, like we talked about Miz being a good dance partner for Logan, Corbin being a good dance
Perfect.
partner for Pat.
Yep.
I mean,
And
you
they're
couldn't
boys.
and their boys. Like you couldn't help.
It works.
You couldn't help for that. And then this was a good match that kind of what we were talking about earlier, where I felt like Pat being not as clean in some of his movements, it kind of helped the match because number one, I'm scared to death that baby gonna break his neck, and number two, you kind of believe when he's getting his butt whooped. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just really
that
nice.
I appreciate, right?
Yeah,
And for
yeah,
me, it's the sloppiness and the lack of speed, and you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Because they're like, you can be sloppy, but if you have something like I have to make it feel like it's real. If
yeah.
you're out here throwing a punch and I can tell, like, granted, again, now going back looking, you have a separate, it hurts like hell trying to do anything, so you're going to be moving super slow. But
Right.
when Pat throws, like that dude throwing like the Rock in '97, okay, he throw that right hand like he
He
is
throwing them things like
chucking
Rocky
that boy.
Maivia out here.
You know what I'm saying? He be leaning back into that shit, letting it rock. Like, yo, he goes in there and like
And he
really
was
put
winded in the
he
mud, but
and
he
he
still,
puts
but it
on a
was good.
show.
But it was
He puts
good.
on a show,
Yeah,
and so does Corbin. That good shout
absolutely.
out. He absolutely puts on a show. All right, let's talk about this this main event. Brock Lesnar, the tribal chief. Wait, hold up one time.
We have to acknowledge him.
We
We
have to
must.
acknowledge tribal chief
We must.
Roman Reigns. You know what I'm saying? We acknowledge you, sir. So he goes out here and look, I'll be honest with you, was not looking forward to this match. I told you, I called you. We were in the infamous group chat. I tweeted. I was like, this is bullshit. I don't ever want to see this match again. Brock
Uh-huh.
Lesnar, go away. Right? Or
Mm-hmm.
do something else. Like, I'm tired of all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And who would have thunk it?
They
Triple H
pulled they pulled
goes
a
out
miracle off, G.
there, and that was it. Is it just me, or did all of a sudden when I saw this forklift go out here and lift the ring? And first of all, can we give Roman Reigns a salute for taking the greatest bump in the history of bumps? Okay,
And
let's
not
not
breaking
even
his neck. Like what?
y'all can't practice that. You got
No.
one time to get this right. I
One.
gotta sit here and make sure he gotta fall the right way. He gotta roll the right. We can't practice this. We can't chance hurting the tribal chief.
He ain't ruptured no
Come
Achilles.
on,
He ain't
he ain't.
twisted no knee. I
Yo,
don't
my
know how
man
he
went
didn't
out
do
there.
it.
If you see the image, and if you haven't checked that out, go on the Fight Podcast Instagram page at the Fight Podcast, and you can see this image. It looks like it belongs in the Louvre. Okay, there's an image of Brock Lesnar in this in this forklift, and Roman Reigns with all of his glory falling backwards all the way back. It was phenomenal. I loved every second of it, man. This was the most entertaining match of the evening. All in all, it gave me exactly what I was thoroughly sports entertained. That is the name of SummerSlam. I was thoroughly sports entertained.
If I had to give a non-wrestling fan one match to watch from
You know, I
this
do what I
year,
can. I do what I can.
if I had to give them one match to watch from this year, someone who doesn't watch wrestling at all, right? They know this. The wrestling is that thing The Rock used to do, right? Like that's their knowledge, and that's it.
1,000%.
I would give
1,000%.
them I would give them this match to watch because it's got a little bit of everything in it. It's
It
got
felt like
wrestling.
Attitude Era. It
It's got
felt
wrestling,
like the
wrestling in it.
Attitude Era.
It's got grudge match brawling. It's got interferences with the
All
Usos
the
and
time
Theory and
with
the foolery
Theory
and the
running back in
foolery.
there like he did.
Paul Heyman getting thrown through a table chair
That
or
and that
announce
is
desk.
when I knew the beef was officially over. When Paul Heyman got F5'd, I was like, it's over.
It's
It's over. We're
this
finally
is
done.
this
This
is
is
the
it.
last time we're gonna see this.
Paul Heyman got
Yeah,
F5'd. We're done.
it
I loved
was
it.
so much fun, and like we said this. They're gonna have to pull out a miracle for us to be entertained by this match again. And you
They
know
pulling a
what?
rabbit out their ass on
In
this one.
in trips we trust again because it happened. We were like,
It happened once again.
we were so
It happened.
stunned and speechless in the infamous group chat. We didn't know what to say. We was just
I
like,
would.
just emojis. It was just emojis. Like,
It was crazy.
yo, this is happening.
Which leads us to NXT Raw, and I continue saying that because Triple H era is officially here, and not only is Triple H era officially here, there is a specific style and a type of wrestler that kind of looks like AEW. If I do say so myself, I mean, let's keep it a buck.
Bang bang. Shots
Let's
fired.
just keep
Okay.
it a buck.
Good Lord. Have mercy.
But if we look at it, it's entertaining, it's fast paced, it's quality wrestling, and the storytelling matters.
Yeah.
In this episode, from top to bottom, every segment, if we go through it, felt as if it mattered. Everything built on each other. They made the belts feel like it mattered. When is the last time we've seen a vignette, a 3-minute vignette about the U.S.
The US
Championship,
title. Yeah.
the U.S. title, and how important it is? Triple H is going back and making sure every single title matters, and also good wrestling. We got accustomed. Don't get it. I'm sorry, I'm running long.
No,
We
go.
got
Please.
so accustomed to bullshit wrestling for years. These people not doing much, essentially phoning it in because that's what the fuck Vince liked. That's the type of style he wanted. And then Triple H was down there, NXT, putting on a show,
bangers.
putting on bangers. Okay, people was loving everything that was going on down there. All of a sudden, now we get that at the main roster. We're starting to see it with Ciampa. We're seeing it with the 2 triple threat matches. When I looked up and I saw Ali on screen, I was like, wait, what? Like getting good time for a possibility
Ali,
to win something?
Ali and AJ Styles in the ring together. And then of course
What?
that was the first thing I even thought of. And
What?
then to give us the moment of Raw last night, the wrestling moment move of the night is that 450
splash
into an Styles clash.
Come
What?
on.
And nobody
Come
died.
on.
Let's just
Yo,
be
come on.
clear. No one died.
When have you seen anything like that in the WWE? Realistically,
It's been
like, I cannot wait to see
been a
Ricochet.
minute. Oh,
I cannot
even.
wait to see Ricochet starting to go wild. If they let that man cook, because again, that's a guy. And here's another thing too, because I heard little birdie told me,
Ooh, he got birdies.
Trips was not pleased with the this past trial with all the athletes. They said Trips is done with that shit. They said Trips is going back to the indies and
That
starting to recruit
NIL
way.
NIL program
He's
about to be
done
out of
with it.
here.
He's
About
done
to
with
be
it.
out of here.
He was like this. He said it was the worst they've ever had. People kept on
Yeah.
getting concussions and injured and all kinds of shit. Yo,
Yeah. Did
they're
I
going
read this
back
or
to
did I
getting
see
real
this?
wrestlers.
Was Dwight Howard actually there cutting promos and trying out, or
He was
did I
cutting
dream
promo.
that?
He was
Did I
acting
dream
like he
that?
was showing up. Showing up.
I didn't dream that. I thought I was under the influence of the THC, and nope, that was a real thing, huh? Jesus. Okay.
Oh,
All right, Serge. My sister. That's a good question from my lovely sister.
So who's going to dethrone the head of the table?
Who?
Here's the thing. It's me personally. I think it's going to be kind of incremental. I think that Drew's probably going to go ahead and take one of the belts off of him come Clash of the Castle in September. I think he might end up taking a belt off of Roman there. And then if Roman still has one of the belts for WrestleMania, I mean, from the beginning, I said it was going to be Cody. I said Cody from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm just trying to think of the timing, and if they are going to get The Rock. I don't know. Obviously, that's what I want. Give me what I want, Hunter. Give me what I want. We all want that.
So I think.
Yeah, I have to say I'm going to say it's Cody though.
I think I'm with your train of thinking about they're gonna split the belts back up. I think that's absolutely gonna happen.
For sure.
Let me take that back. I don't think that's absolutely gonna happen. I think that would be a good idea if that happened. Here's how I think that might happen. I think that Drew is going. I think they're gonna go like they've been doing. They've already booked this and previewed it as a universal title match, right? For all the unified belts, WWE Universal, planetary galaxy titles and all that, all of that for at Clash of the Castle or whatever in September. So I think Drew actually is going to win that, and I think they're going to do something interesting between Drew, Roman, and Seth.
Ooh.
And between those three, we're gonna
because Seth did drop his name, and with Trips, nothing happens for nothing.
Even I could even see Seth costing Roman that match at Clash of the Castle.
And that is why you need to be back in there writing. Because that is exactly what's going to happen.
That'd be lit, right? That'd be dope, right?
Fantastic. Because I love the fact that they're already teasing something.
That's what I was just.
I love it. I think it's fantastic. Absolutely.
They're already teasing it. And then like Cody, I feel like Cody's this lovely wild card that I think is going to be fly. And whenever he is inserted, it's going to be dope and interesting. And I almost feel like if they're not smart, if it was me, I would keep Cody as like my big ace, in my back pocket, just in case we don't get The Rock for Mania.
Absolutely. I think that is definitely a good way to look at it. I think he'll end up coming back.
Carrie, you're asking a great question about my Boo 3000. Look, they said that, when Boo and I was talking this weekend, right? He said that they're not even looking at his neck again until March. You know what I mean? So like, you know what I mean? So I don't even thinking about throwing him into our fantasy booking plans doesn't even make sense. However, I said what I said. I really feel like we said if he is cleared and medically cleared to come back, I think saving him to come out at Mania for something would be everything. Like, don't tease it. Don't even throw it in a storyline. Don't do none of that. Just like, even if Xavier Woods is in a title match for Mania, this would be so fly. If Woods was in a US or Intercontinental title match at
Which
Mania,
is a possibility, possibly Intercontinental,
and he wins it, and E comes out to celebrate with him and Kofi.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I will absolutely take that.
Oh, it'd be awesome. I think that work. I mean, I'm sold.
Then we can all cry. And then we can all cry.
And realistically, I think that we're in a world now, and again, it's a place that it is a world post Vince, right?
Yeah.
So being that it is a world that is post Vince, and seeing the way that Trips has run the other organization, he was known as almost the best booker of the year, and he was getting awarded and things like that for that. I mean, I think we're gonna get a lot of interesting stuff, and I think it's something that you and I talked about with the rise and how great AEW is with what we're doing with Swerve and Keith and FTR and everything that they got going on over there. I mean, I think we're about to hit like a really, really crazy era in the wild world of sports entertainment.
In this lovely wrestling world, especially when you look at like social media and stuff and lovely wrestling Twitter and all that, you get so many crazy people, right, who are always these pro one company over the other, right? And we play around with it on the show as well. But like, to me, when both major companies are cooking, we won. Like, we win as fans.
1,000%.
Like, we win. We get to watch good to great wrestling all week, every premium live event and pay-per-view. Like, we really get to see, and then we get to watch these. We're spoiled. We get to be spoiled. The last time we were spoiled like this is when WCW was still good. And that was only for like 5 minutes.
Years ago. Yeah.
And it was only for like, if you really think about it, that was only for like a smooth year and a half of that.
Right.
That was actually good before it got Oh, Tosh, good night. He over there blowing kisses to the first lady of the Fight podcast over there. Come on, you better say good night to the first lady. She deserves.
You know what I'm saying? Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, I think we win as a whole, as fans, we win, and that's the dope. That's the dope part about it.
All right, so okay, so let me ask you this.
Yes.
And I think this is a question I think a lot of us, and we even talked about this at the very beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Let me find this. You dig this comment over here before I pull it up, because this is a good one.
I think it's the one I'm looking at.
Boom. Where the fuck is Sasha and Naomi? And the word on the street is that the word on the street is that they could have came back yesterday at Raw. So what is it? What do you feel? What is your promoter mind thinking? Because it sounds as if Sasha and Naomi are indeed back a part of the WWE roster.
First of all, I hope that they got the biggest bags. I hope they got like life-changing, ain't never got to do a somersault ever again in their life money. Like, that's what I hope they got. That's just number one. We're going to get into this, Katie, because if you look back a couple episodes ago, I said this, did I not? Anyway, I did. I really hope that, number one. Number two, if they had the opportunity to come back yesterday, but they didn't, and they're holding out and to almost put like a third section into this situation, you mean you're going to put more women on TV in a major storyline together?
What? You mean, wait, you mean Raw isn't going to, SmackDown gets women too?
Who would have thought?
Get out of here.
Who would have thought? I think that would be
we're not even thinking that Charlotte's not back.
Because if she do back to look, Andrade wrestled the other day with Ric Flair, so she coming back in 2 minutes. So
Andrade wrestled the weekend after their honeymoon, so he been ready.
Been back to work. He been back to work. But like she been chilling or whatever. She hasn't taken a break in a while anyway. For sure. So fair.
She absolutely deserves one.
So Charlotte's coming back. Becky's got to go, injury suck and all, but Becky got to bounce. So insert another timing. So insert 2 horsewomen, right? Like, love that for us. Charlotte and Bayley, love that for us. And then the potential of Sasha and Naomi coming back. And then to me, you can throw in another, I don't know, you could throw in an NXT call-up. You could throw in a returning someone that left and back. I mean, there's all kinds of options. Personally, I would love to see Mia Yim back. That's just me. I think she would be a good choice. I don't think we got to see really what she could do for real. So I think that would be fun. Or they could sign somebody else that we are all missing. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. I love it. I love it.
Whatever you do, just don't call up Maga the Stallion, okay?
She just cut some. I didn't watch all of NXT today, but she cut some promo about
just get rid of Maga the Stallion. I'm cool.
About I've dealt with women like you my whole life because I don't fit into a box you think I'm supposed to be in, and I could not roll my eyes anymore. There's a lot of things that could possibly happen with this. I feel like Sasha and just from a personnel standpoint, Sasha and Naomi are needed on SmackDown because there's like no women on SmackDown. So that's
what they're gonna bring back what is it Zelina. They can bring back
Zelina, yeah, that'd be dope.
What's her name? Who was the protector that stopped protecting people? Xia Li.
I wouldn't.
They can bring her back.
But see, now we're talking about women in different tiers, right? So
that's
the
real.
thing about reason why Dakota and Io work with
they're
Bayley
higher,
is because they were top tier in NXT. You know what I'm saying? That's top tier in NXT.
Very good point.
So no shade to Xia Li and no shade to who else you just said? Xia Li and you said someone else. No shade to any of them. Shotzi, even they're not quite.
I'm sorry about Shotzi. I can't. She's not in that tier. Like, and people be throwing like shade at her for real. Yeah. I don't think she's that bad, but like she definitely
You
she
ain't had
she
to
be
snicker like that. I'm just messing with you.
she
I'm just messing with you.
she just be botching a little bit, she be a little botchy, you know what I'm saying? A little
Yeah.
botchy from time to time. And I'm always along the lines, if anybody, sometimes you put your peers in danger, and I don't think that's a good thing.
And
That
even if
that's
you're
just
not like, and like even if you're not, it just looks like it and it feels like it sometimes. So it just is a
yeah,
little
yeah.
scary. And like I like Shotzi's look. I liked her character far better in NXT than whatever we've ever seen on the main roster. And I think um dang sis. Dang. I like Zelina though. Like Jesus. That is, you know what? I like Zelina, and I'm going to stick up for her real quick, only because I really think that she was a really, really good manager with Andrade. I thought that was a really good act, and I feel like she can do that with someone else as well as wrestle from time to time. Dang, stop this, Joel. Stop this. So I mean, there's that. But like, I mean, Charlotte coming back with Naomi and Sasha isn't a terrible idea. I just don't know how that would actually work per se. Um,
I'm
I just
interested. Either
either way
way.
it goes, I was gonna say either way it goes, yo, the pop that those ladies are going to receive when the lights go
It's gonna,
down and the
yeah,
glow
it's gonna be
sticks come out,
crazy.
it's gonna be everything.
I was really hope. Well, we already know brand splits don't matter anymore, anyways.
At
So
all.
if for instance, if they do have, which I could Bailey and the crew, Bailey and them, go out there and pop up on SmackDown, that's a perfect time when she goes out there to jump Liv. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, Sasha and Naomi pop back up or whatever. Either way, like the fact that they're back is fantastic. Before we get out of here, I want to ask you this. Now that Trips is back,
Mm.
I'm not gonna have you do too much. We didn't prep this, but give me two major things that you can see Trips doing going forward.
Going forward, we've already seen a bit of this already. Commentary is like night and day almost. It is
Oh man,
so much more bearable.
so much better.
Michael Cole to me has always got a bad rap because we've all know that he's only doing what is being yelled at in his ears.
Absolutely.
To see Michael Cole get his freedom, to hear him get his
Man.
freedom during SummerSlam was so nice. It was
Where
just
he's even cracking
nice.
jokes about it.
It
When
was
when when when
so
uh
nice to
when was it
see.
Corey told him, what did he say? He said he's like, man, I thought I liked you better before you had anything to say. He's like, well,
And he
times have
said, "Times have
changed.
changed,
Times
Corey."
have
I was like,
changed.
"You tell him." It was so nice. Like it was just nice. I even like that they were even acknowledging a difference. So during the Pat McAfee and Corbin match, Michael Cole actually said, normally we try to be unbiased in our commentary, but Corey's friends with Corbin. I'm friends with
Yep.
Pat, so you
Yep.
gonna hear that. Like I
Yep. I
love
like
that, and
that.
I
I
was
do
like,
too.
that is such a really great way to tell your audience y'all not stupid. And we
Right.
know y'all not
Right.
stupid and
Yeah.
are bad for maybe acting like y'all, treating y'all like y'all might have been stupid. That wasn't our fault. We was doing what we was told. But here it is now.
Yeah.
I love
It
that.
seems like it's gonna be a much more happy workplace. And it's one thing that I think
Yeah.
I've noticed is that it seems like they're already having more fun.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
I love
Yes.
watching they're having fun, and you can and one thing, and we always talk about Attitude Era. That's my favorite era in pro wrestling.
It's
I
most people's
and a lot of
our
us
age,
is,
yeah.
right?
That's
Yeah,
most people's
especially our people our age. So seeing some of the certain things come back, prime example, seeing the locker room interviews in different places in the locker room. You know what I mean? The people like the cameraman running, following him on some Murray shit, right? Like going through the
Also
fucking
worry.
crowd, right? Like like those little moments.
Yeah.
One kept the show moving, but also again kept me thoroughly sports entertained. Like at
Yeah.
the end of Raw last night, we again infamous group chat. I am thoroughly sports entertained.
That's
Like
all we kept saying.
every
Yeah.
every aspect of it was like on point. It moved. And man, I just really liked what I saw.
Yeah, I think that's one thing you're gonna see. I know Katie just said it. Triple H will probably bring less same matches over and over and over again. Amen
Yeah,
and amen and yes and amen. The other
for
thing, and I'm
sure.
talking, and I guess I'm talking a lot of non-wrestling portions, but I think this stuff still matters, right? So the commentary is great. I'm already noticing less scripted promos. It's still scripted a bit. You can
Mhm.
still see like make sure you say this phrase and that phrase, especially last night. I feel like you saw it probably the
And
most last
some
night than
people
we've
need
ever
to
saw.
have more scripts than other. You can tell. You can
But
see
at
some
least
people, but let them try and let them
they also
go.
sound, but they sound like people now, like
Yeah.
persons,
Rhonda even sounded like a person.
like a person. And I was like, well, look at that. That I think is going to help with these characters that we're supposed to care
Absolutely.
about when
Yeah.
these matches are supposed to be happening. So that means
Mhm.
that brings an immediately that brings a decent match to good because we care about what's happening, no matter what's
Okay.
happening in it.
So I don't know if we answered the question though. Storyline wise, what do you think
Mm.
Trips is going to bring to the table?
We're gonna see more women on. We've already seen it. More women on our screens in prominent situations.
Something different that we already see. Give me. Okay.
Okay. Okay, okay. Okay. You already mentioned this, but I will highlight it some more. Our
Okay.
secondary titles are going to be mattering a
Okay.
lot more. And we're
That's
going
cool.
and we already saw phase 1 of that last night with the US title video package, the 2 triple threat number 1 contenders matches, which I thought was
Which were
so
awesome.
earn it.
Yeah.
Instead
Yeah.
of hi, I would like to Simon Miller from What Culture that we love. We all watch, we all love What Culture Wrestling over here. Hi, I would like to get a title match. Sure, you can. Like, and
Yeah.
that's what we've seen for however long. No, earn your title shot.
It felt good watching
It
them
was
do that.
nice.
It was
Yes,
so cool.
it was
And
really cool.
again, just to think also that we're going to get something similar with the Intercontinental title also. So that means we'll definitely get to see, big boss man over there,
Gunther.
Gunther do his thing, and I think because Gunther, I think is an amazing champion, but I would love to see Ricochet with that title again. You know what I'm saying? I would honestly, even more than that, I would love to see Woods with that title. I would love to. I would love for Woods to take that title off of Gunther at WrestleMania. That's what I would really like.
You, me, same. You, me, same. That is
I can
exactly what I
see,
would like.
but I mean,
Big boss, right? Like he's the boss. He's the final boss. He's
oh
the
yeah,
dude, and I would like to see I almost wanted a little more quiet too. I would just like to see Woods win some singles matches just gradually. We
hmm
gradually him and Cove can have some tag matches too, but I just want to see them win some more so that they
yeah,
actually look like the New Day we know. And
absolutely,
then that's how, and then finally Woods gets a number 1 contenders match of some sort, wins
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And I don't care if it's at Mania. Just be if he like where we want Woods to get that title. Like
for
that's
sure.
a great spot for him at some point.
You
And Gunther's a perfect dude. So that could be the perfect person to take it off of him before he moves to the upper guard.
Absolutely, I would love it.
Yeah.
It makes sense. That would be I would be so happy if that happened. Also, speaking of being happy and people doing things on their own, we saw Montez go against Seth Rollins and Raw, and when we saw that, it was just like, oh, we have arrived. They're putting Tez against Seth Rollins and on a highlighted Raw at that.
And he's
Really
already had a
interesting.
singles match with Roman. So
He
that
has
happened
already had
already.
his thing. Yes, he
So he done
did.
knocked out both up. He not knocked out because he didn't win, but he's already had his first matches with 2 members of the Shield. We already know how WWE feels about them. We're here. We're
And,
present.
hey, and like I said, and Trips likes those guys very much.
Yep.
And again, do you mean to tell me I'm actually gonna start seeing Roman wrestle even more, like the way that I would want Roman to wrestle? Like,
Well, like low key, according to WWE, right? The summer's over. SummerSlam has occurred. So if Roman's like chill schedule was supposed to be through the summer,
let's go. Come
we're
on,
here. I'm going to throw out a very random fantasy booking here. You ready?
let's go.
Next week on Raw, Montez Ford challenges Theory for his Money in the Bank briefcase and wins.
Oh my goodness. I mean, if that happens,
Just gonna do that.
I will be happy, and I think that would be a fantastic thing, and I think they should do it. And in fact, with that, I don't know. Is there anything else we need to say about it? Because I think that's a great way to finish today. That was fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you
You
very
know,
much.
that's great. Yeah, I think that'll be awesome. I think that's what we should do. All right. Before we get up out of here, uh, anything else we want to say about Triple H? What was the direction they're going into? Your excitement level? Anything before we get up out of here?
Listen, I really feel like
No,
this
it
week.
wasn't. It was not an official cash in. He
Nope.
went to go. He went to cash it in, and he got F5 by Brock before the
For
ref
that.
said anything. So he still has the briefcase.
If you don't hear an announcement that, Theory is cashing in his money in the bank and then another bell ring, it's not an official cash in. Yeah, we win. We win. Here's the thing. We get to really like fantasy book stuff and then like not know if it's gonna happen or not. Like that we really get to be surprised. We really get to go like, yo, I would love for this to happen, and then something completely different happen. We'd be like, well, I like that too. Like we have, like there is just a lot of options and potential. And I really, I don't envy Triple H's position at the moment because a lot of eyes are on him. But I think that man has been preparing for this lovely moment for a very, very long time. And I'm excited to see what he does with it.
Look, I think that like I said before, I think we're heading into an era that I think I used to look at WWE like they were like the creme de la creme, right? I used to look at it like it was just so dope. Like, and this is what pro wrestling was. And then we had that whole PG era and all the other nonsense. And Vince essentially just got old and out of touch. It's essentially, right? And I feel like that's just been gone for so long, and I found little things that I liked, and I think that's why I even gravitated towards Roman and like the Usos and stuff because they were like little hits of it, right? Of those things that you liked, and then like and again, I really like certain like old and black and gold NXT and shit like that. Being able to see that now on the main roster is really exciting. They're talking about Johnny Gargano coming back. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he comes back, that'll be huge. I can see they can put him in champion some shit right now, and
let's
it'll
not
pick
forget
up
that
like it was
Johnny got
2019.
a wife. Johnny got a wife who could wrestle her
Who can
butt off.
wrestle.
That's a whole.
I love it. I mean, so how mad would you be? Oh my god. Okay.
Yo, I would have to do the show by myself because he would be in
my
mourning.
god.
You understand that?
I would be done. I'll be like,
If
all
this
that
occurred,
positive shit that I just said about Triple H. Damn you, Triple H. You
Serge
would
would
literally
pop up on
have
this
me on.
show. He
You
would
would
pop up
have
on the
me.
show.
You would have me at the next Raw, sitting there on the mat, yelling at him like I'm Batista. Give me what I want, Hunter.
Serge would come on the show with a whole black hoodie, hood up, glasses on, just like this. Dre, do the intro. He would be so mad.
Yo, but you know what? Here's the problem. Like I feel like I've come to peace with Vince at the helm. I came to peace with that happening. Now I would be upset. That's how I feel about it. I feel like now I'd be like, oh, that just I already don't like the fact that I know that Drew McIntyre is probably gonna win it. Because I think Drew McIntyre, he's just not that dude.
What if Theory beats Roman for one title? He cashes in for one title, and that's how they split them up. Because Theory thinks it's a thinking character. He thinks he's smart, right?
All right. I mean, we can do that. I'll allow it. Yeah, I definitely prefer your Montez Ford beating him for a suitcase idea better. This one I'm not for.
It would make everybody feel better, but we still got to remember, like, don't get it twisted. Triple H, like, we are putting a lot of faith in Triple H, and I also think that he is very much liable to give us curveballs we ain't never thought of, and I could see that being one of them. I could see Theory, him actually following through in Theory, either having one of these or both of these titles for a half second. But again, I don't think it would be long. It would be a half second, but it would be just to see us all lose our minds for 2 minutes. I would I would honestly
Look,
just be here for the
we said
fire,
at the
G.
beginning,
It'd be hilarious.
in trips I trust. So if that's the move he decided to make, I would sit there and I just bite my lip and I just say, you know what, this is
Triple
gonna
hat.
pay off. This
He's
is
gonna.
gonna
You
pay
got
off
one
sometime.
run. You got one run to fix.
Look, I'm telling you right now, I'm looking forward to the Fergalicious is gonna get a push. I know he is.
Yeah.
You know
Oh
Ferg is
yeah.
gonna get a push.
We didn't even touch
Ferg
on this,
got
but like,
two. Yeah.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
You
no,
did it.
please.
I was just gonna say, like, they even touched up Judgment Day a bit and made that and made the Mysterios and and Edge and then the Judgment Day situation. It's almost like they were like, okay,
Real.
hold on, let's keep the good stuff, let's adjust, so let's give it a little bit more direction. And now we know where we're kind of going, and I love that. And you know,
I
your
love
girl
it.
Rhea was choking Dominic, poor baby. He be all right. I think he was okay.
I think he was all right. I think
Think
he
he was
was
fine.
okay.
He
Look,
was
I've said this once and I've said it time and time again. Dominic need to get in the weight room. I can't
he has
stand it.
been.
I
You
can't.
ain't see
Are
the
you?
you don't
What?
see the couple
I
two.
see. I seen the. Look, I'm not gonna body shame my man. Like I said, it's okay. Like I said, but I tell you one thing: there was plenty of moments in that match with the Usos this past week that he killed it. You know, he goes
Yeah,
out there, he wrestles, and I think because again they teased it with Edge coming back and spearing instead of spearing Finn, he ended up spearing Dominic. I think Dominic might be like, look, I've had enough, and he might end
right.
up going to the to Judgment Day. And if that happens, I'd be cool with that also. And
Yeah.
then having daddy and uncle going to save the son, like I'm cool with that storyline too.
I think it'll be fun, and I'm excited. I the point is, we're all just really excited about what's next.
Edge's spear game is phenomenal.
It's
He
so great.
still throws that spear like he Goldberg.
And like, yo, I mean, we're still getting shaky cam a little, it's still
A
too much
little
shaky
bit, a
cam,
little bit.
but it ain't as much as it was. And at least we got to see those spears, which is really nice.
Oh, for sure. For sure. No, it was good.
Yeah.
Like those are some solid moments. But no, I'm excited, yo. I mean, I'm excited. Again, everything felt like it mattered. And I'll say this
Good.
too. When's the last time you've seen an episode of Raw that a 3 hour show that everything mattered? Not a single 24/7 bullshit running around. You know what I'm saying? Everything. And then there was that many high level pro wrestlers
There
on
was
an
so
episode
many
of TV.
matches. It was so
I've
nice.
It was so nice.
There was
Best
wrestling on my
episode of
wrestling
Raw I've
show.
seen all year.
It was so nice. Wrestling
It
on my
was
wrestling
was.
shows. It was really dope.
It was dope. It was dope. But all right. With that being said, hey, that is about all the time we have for the day, good folks. Miss Dre Days, anything else you want to get into?
I am going to say this. First of all, thank you everybody in the chat. Welcome. Okay. We missed some of y'all. It's been a minute, but we are so happy to see you. If you are in this chat, do us a favor. Make sure you like, you share, and you subscribe. And when I say share, I mean go ahead and send the link you are into right now. Send it to 3 people. Send it to 3 people right now and be like, hey, you should check this out. So go ahead and do that. And then yeah, we will see you next week and such. Serge, how you doing? Anything else?
Absolutely. Well, again, thank you guys for watching. Make sure the listen to the Fight Podcast World Rundown and all of our shows everywhere podcasting is available. Apple, Google Play, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, all those good things. Check out this fightpodcast.com as well. Like I talked about at the top of the show, please, if you haven't already, check out the Scrap News for the absolute best in all of combat sports journalism. I mean, some really, really fantastic articles up there, articles, videos, everything. Check out the Scrap News on social media as well as the website today. And last but certainly not least, if you haven't already, you see the hoodie, the shirt that I am wearing, and we have more. Make sure you go ahead and get yourself some merch. Etsy.com/shop/the Fight Pod Shop. Get yourself some merch. Everything clothes wise is champion brand. The beautiful quality on the mugs and everything that we have there. We have a couple different colors. We got black, we got white. You know what I'm saying? We keep it all real monochromatic in this. You dig? You know how we get down. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, love
Yeah.
y'all. And this is how we're going to get out. Before we get out here, we always tell y'all this. If you are at work, you've been working hard, you've been grinding. Look at Danny Garcia boxing. He's been going through life. Life happens. It hits you in the face. It hurts, but we all got to get up. And at the end of the day, you got to start telling people this because they be trying to press you. And sometimes you got to let them know this.
Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yesterday's price is not today's price. He's so